So I'd like to welcome everybody out today to our expanded edition of a 5-minute webinar this morning. I am one of the panelists, David McInnes, and I have Mark Effinger here with me. And so I'll go into an explanation of who we are in just a minute, but would like to just welcome everybody out today. If anybody cannot hear me, please indicate. Otherwise, I'll just proceed.
You missed him in his pink shirt. It was pretty cool.
I'm still in a pink shirt.
Oh, you are? Oh,
you got to take the shirt off? All right, so I hope you get a sense that we just like to have fun. Part of what we do is have fun. So here's the agenda for this morning. And again, we're going to try to keep this pretty short because we know everybody's got a lot to do. But I'm going to introduce myself and Mark, talk a little bit about Cranberry and what we do and why you care about us and why we are doing this whole crowdfunding thing, what you get if you win one of these grants, how companies are selected, and then other resources that we might talk about. So briefly, I'm David McInnes, and I'm your host, and I'm also the CEO of Cranberry, and founder CEO of Cranberry, and also I was the founder of PR Web. And when I owned PR Web, I got to know this individual, Mark Effinger, very well. He was an early customer. Tried to hack PR Web and break it, and to his advantage, and sometimes he got away with it. But we became very good friends, and have done a lot of business type things together over the years. One thing that Mark's gotten into, and well, he does a lot, but one thing he's done successfully in the past is help people with their crowdfunding campaigns. And so I thought I'd pull him into this project. And Mark, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and talk maybe a little bit about web nutrients, but not too long.
Hey, I'm Mark Effinger. Since 1986, I've been raising money for a lot of companies, and that's why crowdfunding became an important part. But right now, what I'm doing primarily is, aside from a couple of crowdfunding campaigns that I'm creating and supporting, is I make the world's most powerful nutrition for your brain. So web nutrients has been considered the NZT48 of nutrients, which was from the movie Limitless. And so anyhow, yeah, that's my primary thing. And then crowdfunding is an obsession on the side, but it's becoming much more important, as it's probably the most effective way to raise money and elevate the profile of your company through the exposure that you get on good crowdfunding campaigns. So, and that's why Cranberry is so important. Okay.
So if you're joining us and you were looking for like a lot of really sexy slides, you're going to probably be disappointed and want your money back. But I think what I need to do right now is tell you what Cranberry is and who we are, to give you some context of what we can help you do with the grants, the money that you could potentially be awarded. So Cranberry is a content marketing company, and we drive traffic to content that businesses and organizations create. And why content? Because it's one of the most powerful marketing tactics that you can use, whether you're talking about your crowdfunding campaign. I mean, think about how they have you set up your Kickstarter or your Indiegogo campaigns. It's all about the content, right? And so we help you promote that content. Lee Odin, one of the foremost internet marketers, content is no longer king, it's the kingdom, right? And so everything you do online, you've got to provide content. And why is content so important? Because it's our primary medium for engaging with a new audience, okay? And then companies like Cranberry help you drive traffic to that content that you're creating, so you can actually build an audience and build your tribe. All right, so the primary mechanism we use to help companies with their content marketing is the gist. There's something that we've created called the gist, and basically what it does is it retells your story in a very compact format. It follows a specific formula that is designed to help to appeal to the 4 macro temperaments that exist. Basically, if you follow Myers-Briggs kind of methodology, each one of us falls into one of 16 personas or personality types. And those 16 personality types can be broken down into 4 macro types, which are your competitives, humanistics, methodical, and spontaneous. And our platform helps you create the gist of your story to appeal to each one of these 4 personas or temperaments. We then take that gist of your story and we and we put it around the internet like this, right? And it's a very engaging type of thing, and it's meant to engage and to drive traffic. And there are a lot of reasons that I can go into right now as to why this works and why it's better than anything out there. But my purpose isn't necessarily to sell you on this, because we're going to give this to you. And so it's just to let you know that we've put a lot of thought and time and attention into building this engagement platform, and something that will drive relevant traffic to your crowdfunding campaign. So why are we choosing crowdfunding? Why are we even doing this? And I think Mark and I have the same passion. Ever since my days at PR Web, well, I grew up an entrepreneur, and ever since my days at PR Web, my main motivation and goal in life is to help small businesses tell their stories. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what I thrive on. That gives meaning to my life. Because I've seen the struggles. I've been a small business a lot of my life, and I know that we have a unique set of struggles and overcome in penetrating markets and breaking through the noise that's already out there. Large companies do seem to gobble up all the media attention, and so I'm always on the hunt for ways to actually break through and help companies tell their stories. And I think, Mark, you pretty much have the same passion.
Oh, huge. Yeah. I've raised almost $50 million now for small businesses to try to help them grow into medium-sized or big businesses. And yeah, it's always a struggle to get attention. Always.
So we're suckers for we're suckers for the hard fight, and I think it's just, there's a lot of fulfillment that comes in helping small businesses and tell their stories, and you can't get any smaller than a crowdfunding campaign, which will lead me into one of our criteria, right? If you're to receive one of our grants, if you're part of a corporation and you're doing a crowdfunding campaign as a marketing ploy, you probably won't qualify for one of our grants. We'll get into the criteria in a minute, but that's our goal, is to help small businesses get off their feet and get some traction. So what do people get when they win $1,000? Well, they'll get $1,000 in marketing funds applied to your account at Cranberry, and you'll get to use those funds to actually run a couple of campaigns to help you through your home stretch of your campaign. And then you'll get access to our marketing team, which includes people like myself and Mark Effinger and whoever else you need access to on our team. So we got a group of people here that can help you and provide counsel along the way. So that's probably worth more than the $1,000 in marketing credit, I would guess, right, Mark?
Oh yeah. I hope so. I've got the war wounds.
Yeah, Mark and I each have about 20 years of online marketing background, and we're kind of like the grandfathers of the industry. So, except Mark's got a little bit more gray hair to prove it.
I need to get a better hairdresser is what I need.
So here's kind of how we run our selection process. It's Mark and it's I and myself and it's a couple of people on our team here. And what we really want to do is provide home stretch funding, right? We're looking for campaigns that actually have some traction, enough people that believe in them that it's worth that. That's an indication to us that people believe in you, believe in your ability to deliver a product and deliver on your campaign or build or service or whatever you're offering. And you just need that home stretch funding. You need a little bit of a boost to get you to the finish line.
Dave, if I can interject here, there's a company called Coolest Cooler. It has we consider it the Frankenstein of coolers out there. It's got a blender built in, it's got lights, it's got a stereo and everything else. The first time that Ryan ran the campaign, which was in the winter a couple of years ago, the campaign was, he was asking for $125,000. He got to $119,000 and couldn't make that final $6,000 that would have allowed him to escrow that money. So for 6 months, he just started building up market and started promoting. And then in the summer, which is much more applicable to a cooler, right? He was able to do it again. And from July to August in that summer, he was able to raise $13 million by timing things right, doing a lot of content marketing, and making sure that he understood the dynamics. And by the way, he reset his goal from $125,000 that winter to $50,000 that summer. So he was able to gain traction and make those numbers very quickly. So with tools like what you're doing right now, David.
And I know, Mark, you probably got a couple of crowdfunding campaigns you're probably involved in right now too. So.
Oh yeah.
One involves little birdies, and I don't know if we'll have time to go into that or not. So basically, we're going to choose 3 awardees per month, mostly because we're promising and dedicating team members to help each one of these awardees, each one of these companies execute, and it's a time commitment on our part to do so. So we feel like we can comfortably work with 3 startups or 3 crowdfunding campaigns per month. So the criteria: do you have enough traction? If you are, if you're 10% of your way to goal and you have 3 days left in your campaign, there's not going to be much we can do to help. I mean, even if we had the best marketing machine on the planet, 3 days is going to be a tough.
Unless you're $8 from your goal.
Right. So if you're 10, but if you haven't gotten, so that's kind of the thing, is that it takes 24 hours just to turn around what we do. So we just need to make sure that you have enough time left on your campaign that we can actually have an impact, and that we believe that you can deliver on your campaign, right? And so that's pretty much it. It's pretty subjective. We do have a little bit of a scoring mechanism here, but basically we want to make sure that you're not 10% to goal with 2 or 3 days left on your campaign. So ideally, we'd be looking for somebody that's 30 to 50% of their way to goal, and with a couple weeks left on their campaign. Like I said, home stretch funding.
Yeah.
You've done
leverage momentum.
Yeah, you've done some of the work. You've proven that you can build a tribe, and we're going to help you add to your tribe. Other resources, I think this is one that we can make available to everybody, whether they win one of these $3,000 grants or not, is this 5-minute webinar that we do every day from 10 to 11:30 or 9 to 10:30. I don't know. It's on our website. You go on our website, you register that you want to do a 5-minute webinar. We have a host that's standing by, Adam. We'll take you through the process. You basically download one of our templates. It's 3 to 5 slides long. You fill it out. You show up. You do your webinar. We package that webinar. We promote it around the internet using our platform. We throw some money behind it, not thousands of dollars, but some money behind it, because it actually helps us tell our story when we tell your story. So it's kind of one of these things that's free. And think of this as think of it like TED Talks for everyone else. It's just, but we only give you 5 minutes on the stage, and then we shut it down. So you want to be able to make your pitch within that 5-minute window, and that's cranberry.com/5 minutes. And there's the URL to register and to win one of these grants. And I think we've already had a few people register for grants already. So with our kickoff being today, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Mark, you got anything else you can add?
Yeah. Let me tell you about a campaign that we're going to be. We're actually reinitializing a campaign because the messaging wasn't strong enough on the initial launch. So we're basically redoing it, but we're going to do a competition between Kickstarter and Indiegogo. So currently, Chastity Fincher has a campaign, and it's let me see if you can see it. Okay, there it is. It's Flip the Bird for President. So if you remember D's Nuts, he got at one point, I think he had 8% of the votes, which was this kid who had this kind of fake entry into the presidential race. So Chastity had developed this really cool character named right here, right? So that is Silly Sticks. And then right next to Silly Sticks, you'll see Flip the Pig. Now, even though Flip the Pig may look a little like Flip the Bird, I swear they're not the same. So we're going to be working between Kickstarter, which is where Flip the Pig will be, and Flip the Bird. And we're going to be doing these 2 competing Flip the Pig for President, Flip the Bird for President. One is going to be, a little sloppy, as you can probably imagine. And one's going to be, I don't know, he's going to try to tweet his way to success. But there's never been a dual competing crowdfunding campaigns. And what's really going to be fun is to see the difference that the Cranberry platform makes in amplifying the message. So anyhow, this will be really fun, and I think that you're really going to dig as we take the metrics out of this campaign and show you the difference that native content makes in really elevating a campaign to a new level. And Flip the Bird and Flip the Pig for president are going to be the two competing characters on this. So watch that one carefully.
So which one's yours? You're not going to tell us, are you?
I can't. I'm not allowed to do that.
I want to sabotage yours. So
I'll keep that in mind.